Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. For those new here, my name's Nicki. I'm an author and editor and I post videos here on YouTube about writing, editing, reading and all the other things I love. And it's the latter that brings us here today because it's time for a top 10 vlog. And today I am doing my top 10 English language musicals. First off, I should do a major disclaimer and say that this category is a very fluid one. There are some that will always be in the top 10 in different positions. However, often it can change, like if I discover a new musical it might bump on off the top spot, at least for a little while, and so it's very much of the moment in which I'm filming, and I'm filming this in August 2018, just so you know, and so by the time this actually gets put up on the YouTube channel my choices might have completely changed, but what can you do? It's just one of those categories where there's always so many I love, and it's very much a matter to do with mood, what I've been listening to lately, which ones I pick. But the top 10 as we see them at the moment are as follows. At number 10, Next to Normal. This is a fairly recent musical from I think something like 2009, 2008, 2009. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It's about a woman with mental health problems and how her family and how is she coping with them. So it's quite a deep musical in some ways. The music's really catchy. And it's just one of those that when I first heard the score and first saw some of it on YouTube, it just absolutely captivated me and really touched me right from the start, which is why it makes the list. Number 9, The Grinning Man, another new one. This musical came out only a couple of years ago. I was lucky enough to see it when I last visited London, and it's based on the Victor Hugo novel The Man Who Laughs. Absolutely amazing show. It's so wonderful to see a new score for a great score. Having musical theatre lately has tended to become this sort of amalgamation of pop singers' songs and things, and so to see an original score is absolutely wonderful, and this was such a touching show. I was laughing in one scene and in floods of tears the next. It's just one of those kind of musicals. Absolutely beautiful, haunting music and wonderful performances by the cast that I will remember forever. Number 8, Cabaret, so a slightly older one, Candour and Ebb. This is just another show that has really catchy songs, and there is a really emotional piece as well. And with the right performance, this can be absolutely awesome. Number 7, Into the Woods, the first of several Sondheims on this list. I adore Sondheim. I love his music. I love that it's not all just obvious and guessable and melodic, and I love his lyrics, they're so witty. And Into the Woods is a very clever amalgamation of various different fairy tales, again really memorable songs, and just a wonderful sing-along one. Yes, you can sing along to Sondheim. I know people say you can't, but you can. Number 6, Hamilton. So this is a fairly new addition to this for me because I only discovered Hamilton last year. I had hoped to see it while I was in London as well, but unfortunately it literally was only opening as I got there and tickets were impossible to get hold of, so I wasn't able to see it. But afterwards I went and got the CD and I love the music. I'm not a hip-hop rap listener normally, but it works so well for this show, and the lyrics again are just so witty and clever, and it really made me interested in Alexander Hamilton. I'd already been a little bit interested in him from my John Andre studies, but it's made me go off and read biographies and get to know him a bit more, and it's just one of those shows again that I like to sing around the house. Excuse me. Number 5, Sweeney Todd. We're back to Sondheim. I adore Sweeney Todd. Again, the music is so memorable. Those awesome chords. What can we say about the chords? God, I love the chords in that opening. Perfect. It's just a great show again. The bloodier the better. I get really disappointed if I go and see a performance where the blood's a little bit lacking. We like a good spurt when he severs the artery. But again, it's such a clever show. It's a subject matter that's so dark, and yet it just works so brilliantly. Number 4, Phantom of the Opera, Andrew Lloyd Webber. So a fairly classic choice here. I do enjoy Phantom. It's one of those I can watch again and again and still enjoy it, and I like seeing the nuances in different people's performances. Number 3, back to Sondheim for the last time with Assassins. This may be an odd choice for my favourite Sondheim musical, but I just find it so clever. It charts the story of several people that have tried to assassinate American presidents, some successfully, some not. But what I think is so brilliant about it is the way Sondheim has used music from each of their eras when crafting each of their personal songs. So you really get a sense of the time, the sense of who these people are based on when they appeared in history. So the people in the 80s get this sort of epic love ballad, for example. So clever, and I think it's a really wonderful and underrated show. Number 2, Jekyll and Hyde by Frank Wildhorn. This is one of those times when I think the musical is actually better than the book. I actually hadn't read Jekyll and Hyde until after I heard the musical, and I was really disappointed that a load of the stuff that happens in the musical isn't in the book, particularly the sort of love interest part of the storyline. It's such a catchy show, a little bit more poppy than most of the choices on my list, but I find the songs really great. They're wonderful sing-along pieces. With the right actors, this can be an awesome show, and for me, Anthony Waller will always be the best in the title roles. And finally, in the number 1 spot, Les Miserables. You knew it was coming, didn't you, if you know me? Pippi Schomburg. It's been one of my favourite shows since I saw it when I was about 12 or 13, and I've seen it live something like 25 times, I think. It's just one of those shows, no matter how many times I watch it, it's still wonderful. The music's beautiful, and it's such a poignant show, and even though you know what's coming, you still cry every single time. So, those are my top 10 picks, at least as of today, for my English language musicals. What about you guys? Do you have any favourites you'd like to share? I notice I've mostly picked more modern ones in this selection, so perhaps later on I will come back and do some of my favourite older, sort of classic era musicals. If you want to mention some of those that you like now, pop them below. Tell me your favourites, why do you pick them? Do you have any that match up with my list here? I will end there for now, but I look forward to seeing you all again very soon for another vlog. Bye for now, everyone.